Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Luffy's father and leader of the Revolutionary Army, Dragon. Now, though Dragon's motivations are not yet known in the manga, we still know that he has the objective of taking down the world government and the world noble system, even as the world government tries to give the image to the people that it is always helping while pursuing its own goals. But Dragon and his revolutionaries do know the real motives of the world government, and they have spent many years studying all the actions around the world that the world government and the world nobles have done, looking for various moments where they can look at ways to bring down the whole organization. Now, although he's been working on his plan for years, we don't fully know the scope, but we do know that he has not ever attacked heavenly dragons directly, and we do know that it seems he's waiting for some kind of moment or waiting for a person or a certain event to occur. Also, with the recent awakening of Luffy's fruit, this could bring a new era of light to the world of One Piece, and it could mark the return or an event that Dragon and the rest of the revolutionaries and others in the world have been waiting for. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Dragon's real goals, why it's taken him so long to finally confront the world government directly, and how this might involve the sun god Nika. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, we'd be absolutely honored if you consider leaving us a like or even subscribing with a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more content, and if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing the video with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So friends, we really don't know much about Dragon's past, and so far remains a very enigmatic character, but we know he has much bigger goals than we may think, because little by little, he's managing to conclude his plan. We don't know exactly when it occurred, but also we know that he founded the Revolutionary Army sometime in the past, and the main goal is to fight against the evil that the world government does all around the world. The revolutionaries are not only out to stop the world government or actions by the Marines, but they're also trying to stop the evil actions done by the world nobles and celestial dragons, who consider themselves untouchable gods above the regular people in One Piece, and kinda do whatever they want to other people. And although we still don't know very well the real motives behind Dragon's actions, we can notice that he seems to hate all of the world government's actions, repudiating all the evil and suffering that they do, and which allows the world nobles to do what they want to people who live on the islands. So most of the work that we've seen done by the Revolutionary Army are efforts that are focused on freeing individual islands from the leaders that follow the world government. So every step the organization takes, it manages to cause a worldwide uproar. So little by little, the world government's credibility is being destroyed and taken out so that they can finally lose their position as leaders and completely take away the world government and the celestial dragons. Now, there have been events in the manga where we've seen that it could be easier for the revolutionaries to tarnish the world government's reputation whenever it has its structure shaken by major events, such as the Battle of Marineford, when the world government's reputation is shot, and this becomes the best time for Dragon and his organization to act. Another event that was a boon to the Revolutionary Army was when Doflamingo was taken down, because the warlords were supposed to be an image on the world for the world government. But with Doflamingo's evil plans revealed, this showed that the world government was party to everything that was going on. Now, the Revolutionary Army doesn't only just save people and liberate islands, but they also collect items that could be useful in future battles and stores them to strengthen their overall capacity. And this is used by the weaker members of the organization, as most revolutionaries have the power of one devil fruit or another. This also helps because it keeps these fruits from falling into the wrong hands with those who might have evil intentions or doing destruction around the world. After Doflamingo's fall in Dressrosa, the revolutionaries took control over the activities to make sure that all of these negative items and smiles wouldn't be sold to other pirates or even used on other people. And every time the world government does something that they shouldn't, the revolutionaries' ranks are always bolstered, because the world government's always up to bad things around the world. So once these individuals undergo a great deal of training, the Revolutionary Army gets all the stronger. Now, anyone who becomes a revolutionary is declared a threat and becomes wanted by the world government, because this is the only group organization that fights against the world nobles openly in the world. After all, one of the big reasons the revolutionaries are seen as a gigantic threat is that the world government sees them as a balance of power issue, because they already try to maintain power with their pillars, but the Revolutionary Army could easily take out one or more of those pillars and threaten the overall ability of the world government to act and take out its plans. Because he is the leader of the revolutionaries, Dragon is known as the world's most wanted man, and not only is he feared by the world government, but also Dragon's allies are very strong. I mean, his second-in-command Sabo faced a Marine admiral in combat without fear. With this, Dragon proves to have a very skilled roster and is able to face opponents even stronger than him because of not only his ability and the abilities of his people, but his high reasoning capacity and his training that he does with the revolutionaries. And aside from Sabo, we can't forget Emporio Ivankov and Inazuma, who were caught after being arrested and were kept on level 5 of Impel Down. So although the revolutionaries are a very strong group of people and do have some influence in the world of One Piece, they haven't done their full plan against the world government yet, because Dragon only commands actions that are favorable to the organization and only where victory is assured. So Dragon might actually be waiting for something to happen so that finally, with all the power that they possess, they can take down the world government. And so it means that they could be waiting for something very important that might further his plan, or is really necessary for them to be able to further their plans. In fact, they could be waiting for the only person who can actually defeat the world government. So with the recent awakening of Luffy's fruit, where we see that he got the power of the sun god Nika, we see that this is a deity responsible for bringing joy to the people and defeating opponents who try to stop him. So with everything that Dragon knows, could he have been waiting for the sun god Nika to return so that he could further these goals? Because perhaps is Dragon and Nika after the same goal, which is of course to save the world. I mean, we know that they both are out to save people from the evil that the world government does, and they're out to free slaves. So it could be that Dragon found out somehow in the past about the legend of Nika. With all of Dragon's travels around the world, it's highly probable that he heard of all these different sun god stories around the world. And after putting it together with what he learned while doing studies on the world government, he may have actually linked it back to the very legendary devil fruit. Just for instance, the fact that Skypiea talks about a sun god Nika, and also it's talked about in Elbaf, so there could have been other records. After all, the world government always tries to destroy any information about Nika, and even went so far as to change the name of the devil fruit. So it is possible that Dragon got this information about the possible return of the sun god Nika, and be able to complete his plan, he began acting little by little, awaiting the sun god's return once whoever inherited the fruit awakened the power. So now that Luffy has managed to awaken all the powers that the fruit could really give him, and actually possesses the Zoan fruit and has become the sun god Nika, what is going to happen in the future? For now, only the people that are present on Onigashima and the Gorosei seem to know that Luffy has managed to acquire this power, but it's only a matter of time until this information gets out. But once Dragon hears of this, could he go and find Luffy, and this become the moment where Luffy gets to meet his father for the first time? And we might even see that Dragon really is seeking out Luffy to get his help, because there might be something that only can be done by Luffy, or rather, only done by the Sun God. Because even though the revolutionaries are a large organization and have many powerful members among their ranks, we're talking about the world government, the Marines, and this shadowy SSG, which are some of the most powerful organizations on the seas. So the revolutionaries alone may not have the power to defeat the Marines and the SSG. They might need something extra. It could also mean that Dragon may know something more about the Sun God's true mission, and it could have been actually all along the thing motivating Dragon to create this revolutionary army. So if Dragon knows something about Nika or even Joy Boy, perhaps this will aid Luffy in furthering his mission and also completing the work that Joy Boy apologized for not doing so many hundreds of years ago. So perhaps in the future we will see an alliance between Dragon and his son Luffy, because they will be both needed in the greatest battle of all time that is already approaching, the battle where everyone participates, and thus will end up revealing Im-sama. So perhaps this might also be Joy Boy's mission after all, and it may have always been about taking out the world government, because this may be the reason why there's that big straw hat and Im-sama's interest in Luffy. But we also have to remember that there's still many other dangers ahead, and we really don't know what Im-sama really is, who they are, or even what their power is. But either way, it does seem that Im-sama seems to bear some responsibility from preventing the ancient chosen ones, or as the sun god, from accomplishing their goals. Or they may even have a similar power to that of Luffy, who obtained an incredible power capable of even defeating Kaido. Also, aside from Im-sama, there's also Teach, because we know after the Dressrosa arc, they were after the revolutionaries, and Im-sama also seemed to have an interest in him as well. But for now, let us know what you think about it. Do you think that Dragon and his revolutionaries have been waiting for the emergence of the sun god? Do you think that once Dragon hears about it, he might seek Luffy out? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video for the day, we want to thank you so much for watching the video until the very end. Make sure you comment any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you've made it this far, give us a like as you head out to take on the rest of your day. Hope to see you all in our next video, and let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.